What's going on, guys? Matt here with Maple City Firearms, and today we're talking about the VTAC Sling from Viking Tactics. Alright guys, here it is, the VTAC Sling from Viking Tactics. I went ahead and swapped that one out for this one. We'll talk more about that one in a minute. This is a green one, this is an unpadded version, so before you think that I just swapped out for a completely different sling, that's not what just happened. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this one first because I wanted to show you the functionality of this before we get into the nitty-gritty, what I like and what I don't like. So, how do these things work? Much like a lot of the other modern slings that are going to be out there, it's going to be a quick adjustment sling, basically meaning that you can loosen it and tighten it to a certain degree without having to take it off and, take 20 minutes out of your life. At this point in time, guys, in 2021, if you don't have a quick adjustment sling, get one. This one, any of the other ones I talk about, doesn't matter, just get one because they are a game changer if you're not caught up yet. With that said, my understanding is the VTAC Sling is one of the OGs out there, guys. It was one of the first companies, if not the first, I didn't do that much research, I'll be honest, to make a quick adjustment sling for people. And it was definitely the first quick adjustment sling I ever had. I bought one it probably would have been about 8 years ago now. And I've lost that one since, or sold it, I don't remember. But I've bought a few other ones, and I wanted to finally go ahead and do a review on it and give you my thoughts. I don't use them as much anymore. Spoiler alert, I think there's some better options out there, but I do want to give it its due because I do, like I said, a lot of guys have more or less copied this version. Sorry guys, it's freaking hot in here, so if I'm sweating and it's distracting, it's probably more distracting to me than it is for you. I didn't even need to say anything. Anyway, here it is, guys. So how do you work this thing? You go ahead and you grab this little tab. This is going to be a piece of paracord on a little metal thing here. You pull it, loosens it. You go ahead and grab this little tail right here and tighten it, all right? Simple, all right? You got two little pull tabs. Right here on the tail at the end here, what we have is an option for a little Velcro keeper. You can mess with this thing, take it off. I don't know how exactly well that would work for you. I keep it on, in all honesty, because I feel that it's a lot simpler. But one of the problems I have with this, what ends up happening is that because you have that on there, this can kind of fall down sometimes as you're using it, and it almost looks like you have three little spots here. If you grab a hold of the middle, nothing happens. You grab here, you can tighten, grab here, you can loosen. And while this is really a neat design, again, innovative at the time, and it still definitely has a purpose out there, the problems I have with it versus some of the more modern options sort of it makes it obsolete, if I'm being perfectly honest. So we'll get into more of that here in just a minute. As far as the materials that are used, top notch, everything's, very strong. I like the webbing they choose. I'll be perfectly honest, guys, I talk about my opinions on the webbing of all these slings, but I can't really talk about them all that intelligently because I don't know enough about webbing and the manufacturing process of the different types of webbing to really say anything. I'll say that this feels really strong, and it's also a little bit slicker, so it makes it a lot easier to loosen and tighten. Some of the other options, which I'll talk about here in a minute, I'm going to do a whole nother review on it, like the Blue Force Gear Sling, not so much rugged material, but it doesn't flow as easily when you're loosening it and tightening it. Does that matter? Who knows? We'll see. With that said, this is a non-padded version right here, which basically means what you might imagine. It doesn't have a pad on it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the padded version, if we may. Same design, okay? You're going to have a tab right here to loosen it, of course, and then one to tighten it. By the way, if anyone wondering, on these versions that I have, the tail end that you tighten it with is the exact same material and the exact same width and everything as the rest of the sling, okay? So if you're grabbing a hold of it and you don't really know what you're grabbing hold of, it might be confusing. That's one of the things I've been critical of with some of these manufacturers that make slings with the exact, that your pull tab is the same material as the rest of the sling. It can be very easy, especially when you're getting used to it, to accidentally just yank on your sling when you think you're trying to tighten it or loosen it. But that's a minor detail. So the pad on this thing, on the padded version, again, it comes with a padded version and a non-padded version. The pad is one of the thicker pads that I have on any of my slings, probably the thickest in all honesty. Pros and cons of that, right? The pro is obviously that it's going to be much more comfortable. The con is that it's going to be a bit more cumbersome, has a tendency to twist on you, maybe snag onto things, and get in the way when you're using body armor in particular. That being said, I'm not a professional. I just kind of do this sort of fun stuff in my basement and at the range, like a lot of you out there, right? So for me, a padded sling, as you notice, this one isn't even on a gun right now. A padded sling is just more trouble than it's worth. But if I were using a sling, 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, however many days a year, I'd probably have a different opinion. But the most I'm ever going to use a sling is going to be on like a 3-day rifle course or something. So your mileage may vary on that. Again, I'm just giving you guys my opinions. Like all the other slings out there, guys, they're not going to come with hardware. You might be able to find a deal where it comes with some as an option or something, but you're going to have to put your own, whatever you like at the end. I always use QD mounts, usually use QD mounts. That's just easiest for me. So I would compare this. I think that the overall design, and it reminds me more of the Faro Concepts Slingster. I think the Faro Concepts Slingster probably took a lot of inspiration from this. They use a similar mechanism here for tightening, except that theirs is used for tightening and loosening. I'm going to do a whole nother review on the Faro Concepts as well. But you can definitely see some similarities. But as is going to be with all of these slings that I'm talking about, guys, the reason that the Viking Tactics has sort of been left in the dust, in my opinion at this point, is because it requires 2 different pull tabs for loosening and tightening, whereas all these other ones, the Faro Concepts, the Haley Strategic, the ESD Sling, the Blue Force Gear, the T-Rex Arms, all these slings that I'm doing reviews on, they all just have 1 point that you pull and you loosen, and all that good stuff. So I like the sling. If you have the sling, you probably like it too. If you bought the sling and you're waiting for it to come in the mail and you're watching this review because you just can't wait, don't feel like you made a mistake. You didn't make a mistake. But I do think that this design has sort of fallen behind some of the others out there. Just my opinion, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. We're going to be doing a giveaway in the next review video I do, which may be a sling review, maybe a holster, I don't know. Either way, I'm going to give away something, but not today. Stay armed, stay safe, guys.